Hello,
Hey,
welcome back. Today we are back with another class guide video and we will be covering the Spellweaver. We have received good feedback in regards to these class guides, so we'll be bringing more to your door.
remember guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, keep the notifications on, because we're going to be doing a lot more of these, plus our playthroughs as well. So, a quick rundown of the Spellweaver. She has a hand size of 8 and a starting health is only 6. She is a ranged damage dealing class, and you're going to need your strategy brain on if you choose this class because you need to plan your plays in advance. The unique thing about the Spellweaver is she does have an opportunity to get all of her lost cards back with one card. Now, this is a beauty, a gem. You need this in your deck because this is what makes the Spellweaver. And this is what makes her unique to all the other characters is the card management side of it. You need to plan what's in your lost deck, what's in your discard deck before you use this beauty of a card.
So we like to use the area of effect option to build up our Spellweaver. So this gives her the ability to attack multiple enemies per attack if she is able to do so. Now, as we've already mentioned, she does have to plan in advance. So the idea is that you'll create an element in the current turn to then be able to use them the next turn. So you have to think strategically. Also pair her with a tank if possible in your group. So she can deal damage from the back whilst the tank deals damage from the front.
So a minor little drawback to the Spellweaver, she is very weak as you can see with 6 health and her hand size is only 8. Her initiative is rather slow. She does have an opportunity with 1 or 2 cards to go quite early, but you're looking at middle to late, which is not always a bad thing for a Spellweaver. This gives you the opportunity to kind of hang back, wait till everyone's already gone, and then you can just swoop in there, smack all the enemies in one go.
So first up then is Mana Bolt. Now the top half of this card, attack 2, range 3 and consume any element to add +1 attack and gain an XP. The bottom half is also really good, heal 3, range of 1, so you can heal yourself or a close ally. It is only range of 1, but hey, don't be fussy. Initiative being 7, so this will be coming with us as it's an all-round good card.
So up next is Flame Strike. This card reads attack 3, range 2, consume the fire element to wound the target also. Bottom half is an attack 2, range 2, and an initiative of 36. Now, this card's an okay card. It will be making our first hand for the reason it can wound an enemy. And the bottom half, in case you don't need to move and you're relatively close to the enemies, you can do a double attack on that turn as well.
So next up then is Crackling Air. Now the top half of this card states on the next 4 attacks, add +1 to the attack, or you can consume the wind element to add +2 to the attack instead. Now you have to lose it, but it's the perfect opportunity to gain some XP and really hit hard. The bottom half of the card, move 3, you can consume flame to retaliate 2, which is also really good if you have that element. Initiative is 25, so all in all, it is a good card. You do have to be prepared to lose it, but you're doing more damage.
Up next we have Ride the Wind. We have Loot 1 as the top action, and the bottom half is move 8 as a jump, create air, and you do have to lose it after you use it. Initiative of 83, so it's kind of slow. It's an okay card, it's not the best, however it does get you out of a spot of bother if you are surrounded by enemies, and you can move to the other side of the map literally, and get away from all that danger, and even have the opportunity to loot if you want to use the top half. Again, not great, but we will be taking it for our starting hand and we'll probably be switching it out once we upgrade to a better card.
Next up is Impaling Eruption. Now we will definitely be taking this card with us. Reason being, top half, attack 3, range of 4. Additionally, target all enemies on the path to the primary target, gain 1 XP for each enemy targeted and create the leaf element. So this is a really good multi-target card. You do have to lose it, but it's absolutely worth it to do that extra damage. Bottom half is a move 4, which you can use over and over again, which is great. Initiative is 70, so it's a bit slow, but at the end of the day, if you're at the back, it doesn't really matter.
Up next, we've got Fire Orbs. Now, this is probably one of the best cards the Spellweaver does start with. It reads attack 3, range 3, target 3. Gain an XP for each enemy targeted. Create fire. You do have to lose it, obviously, after you use it, but with that, what do you expect? Bottom half reads move 3, initiative of 69. This would definitely be making our starting hand.
Next up is Aid from the Ether. Now, the top half of this card is heal 3, range of 3. So once again, you can heal yourself or an ally that's a little bit further away from the card we spoke about earlier, which is good. The bottom half is Summon Mystic Ally, which is always helpful. He moves 2, he's got 2 hit points, he does 3 damage, but he also attacks on range as well, range of 2. So if the enemy is busy attacking someone else, you know you've got your ally there to do some serious damage. You can get 2 XP from summoning him. You do have to lose the card. The only thing is it's initiative 91, which could be a good or a bad thing, because if you summon the ally late, you know that he won't get hit as much.
So last but not least, you got it, Revive an Ether. Top half reads, recover all of your lost cards. You do get to create darkness, and you do have to lose it obviously after you use it. Now this card has another symbol near the lost sign, which means you can never ever regain this card, no matter what, once you've lost it. Bottom half is a move 4 jump, which is good. Initiative of 80, again you're going to be taking this card because it's a key part of the Spellweaver, and you're going to need to recover all those lost cards.
So that concludes our starting hand. The cards that we will not be taking are Hardened Spikes, Freezing Nova, and Frost Armor.
For the reason being, they don't really fit into our AoE build, so we're going to be leaving those ones out for now.
So now we've hit level 2. The card that we'll be taking is Icy Blast, and as we've mentioned, this is purely because we're building up the Spellweaver to carry out area of effects attacks. So this card, the top half, attack 2, range 3, muddle in like a flower formation. You create the ice element, you get 2 XP, you have to lose the card, but with the card that you can get all your lost cards back, it's not too bad, to be honest. Now, the bottom half is heal 6, range 2. You have to lose it for doing that as well, but it could be someone's lifeline, so take it. The initiative being 66, so it's not too bad. You'll kind of be going in the middle, but it's definitely worth it. So the card that we'll be dropping is Ride the Wind, the loot 1 top, move 8 bottom. Even though you can create the wind element for use with Crackling Air, if you've got someone in your party that can do that or has a mana potion, you don't necessarily need this card as it's not crucial.
So for our level 3 cards, we have Cold Fire and Elemental Aid. We're going to be taking Cold Fire though, again for the reason of the area of effects. Top half reads attack 1, range 3, consume fire to add 2 damage to the attack, or consume frost to add stun, or do both of them together. Bottom half reads loot 2, then lose it. Initiative of 67, again this fits our build really well, and it does give us the opportunity to stun some enemies as well as doing some damage there, so this one is the one we'll be choosing. So Cold Fire is going to take Crackling Air spot in our hand. Reason being, we don't have many cards that can generate air, and if you don't have an ally or a buddy that has a mana potion that creates air, there's not really much point in taking this card. However, Cold Fire is not a lost card.
So we've hit level 4, and the next card we'll be taking is Forked Beam. Funny. So the reason that we'll be taking that is because it's attack 2, range 3, target 2. So once again, it's not a huge area of effect card, but it can target more than one enemy, and you get 1 XP for it. Woo! The bottom half, move 4, which is very welcome in our eyes. It has initiative of 20, so it's fairly quick, to be honest, so you can always do a range attack before dashing away. We'll be swapping this for Flame Strike, as we find Flame Strike to be really limited. It's only got a range of 2, unfortunately, which is pretty bad. It only targets 1 enemy. Again, this new card targets 2, and you get the bonus of the XP. So we'll be taking Forked Beam.
So we've just dinged to level 5, and hello Chromatic Explosion. Come to Papa. Attack 3, range 3, create every single element in the game. Get 2 XP, and doing a triangle-like formation as well. You do have to lose it, but again, what do you expect? Bottom half reads move 2, create any element as well. So we've got some options there. And initiative of 71. We're going to be definitely taking this card over the other card, because we are building to an area of effect. And we're going to replace Impaling Eruption. Reason being is Impaling Eruption is a good card, but you have to kind of get close to get the maximum effect from it, whereas we want to stay back and do damage from afar.
Next up, for level 6, we're going to be taking Living Torch. Attack 4, range of 3, immobilize. Consume the sun element. All enemies adjacent to the target suffer 2 damage, and you get an XP for it. Now, the bottom half, you get an ally, and this is the Summon Burning Avatar. So that means we're going to be leaving behind Aid from the Ether. So we're going to be losing our Mystic Ally purely because the Burning Avatar is more powerful. The new card has initiative of 96, so it's very slow, but also if you summon the ally again later in the turn, it will be better for their health. You are losing the heal 3, but we ain't no healer. We the damage dealer.
So we are now level 7, and we're not taking any of these cards. Reason being, Twin Restoration, we don't need another card taken up, recovering lost cards. And Stone Fist is a melee build, and we're not a melee build. So goodbye to them, and we're going to look back now at Frozen Knight. So we're going to take this card in this case. It's an attack 4, gain 1 XP for each enemy targeted, create ice, and we've got this little formation going on there. Bottom half is move 3, then you can consume Knight to move another 2 and go invisible, then get an XP as well. So very decent. Initiative of 46, so middle, and we're going to drop Cold Fire at this point. I'm going to put Frozen Knight in for the reason Cold Fire doesn't attack 1 if you don't consume any elements. So on the case that we've got no elements up, we don't really want to be stuck with an attack 1 this late in the game. So we'll put Frozen Knight in there instead.
So next out of these 2 level 8 cards, we'll be going for Cold Front. The reason being attack 5, range 2 in a spaghetti formation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In a spaghetti formation that basically you can target so many enemies along the same line, create frost, you get 2 XP for it. You do have to lose it, but it's one of those what do you expect situations again, really. The bottom action, on the next 3 sources of damage from attacks targeting you, suffer no damage and instead gain retaliate of 3, range 3. You have to lose that, but it's so good and you get XP every time you do that. So we will be swapping that for Frozen Knight. Unfortunately, we only took Frozen Knight to abuse it temporarily. It is essentially a melee card, so it doesn't really fit in with what we're about. So we'll be going for the Cold Front, initiative 61, so not too bad.
So we finally reached level 9. Ding, ding, ding. These 2 cards are what we have up now, and we're going to be going for Inferno. Reason being is, well, the card speaks for itself. Attack 3, target all enemies in the same room as you. Consume fire to add a damage and gain an XP.
Wow.
All allies in the same room do suffer 2 damage, but what do you expect? That's their fault. Get out of the room. Bottom half is a retaliate of 2, range 3, affects self and all allies for the rest of the round.
Lovely.
Decent. Initiative of 19 as well, so very low.
Yeah.
This is going to be a straight upgrade to Fire Orbs. Fire Orbs is a great card. It's lasted us since level 1 to now, but see you later, Fire Orbs. Hello, Inferno. So on screen now is the perks that we like to pick and starting gear that we give our Spellweaver as well. Later on, you will unlock better items, but we won't spoil that now for you.
And also another thing to consider is enchanting your cards, especially the area of effect cards. So for example, we chose Chromatic Explosion, Cold Front and Icy Blast. Now if you enchant them with a condition, you're guaranteed to put that condition on all those enemies within that targeted area. Essentially, if you want to strengthen yourself, you know for a fact that you're going to be dealing some serious damage and you're not joking around.
Now we know it could get quite expensive enhancing these high level cards. The level 1 cards that I recommend is probably Fire Orbs and Mana Bolt, as they do last to near the end of the game, and it will be a bit cheaper. If you enhance Fire Orbs with just +1s, you've got an attack 4, a range 4 and a target 4 in itself. Again, it will get quite expensive, but it will benefit you in the long run. And even Mana Bolt, if you even +1 to the attack, or even +1 to the heal, you've got a decent card there as well. So that concludes our Spellweaver guide. We do hope you found this very useful.
And if you guys haven't liked and subscribed, you won't see any new content or any new guides coming out. So get to that. Thanks so much.
See you soon.